So yesterday I went trail riding with a few buddies of mine, but you know, I'm sure you probably couldn't tell. But as I was driving to the location, I had a thought and it gave me this idea that FJ Cruisers are really not fun daily drivers. Sweet. All right, so now that we're done sort of washing the FJ, let's go find some trails and maybe get some more mud. Yeah, no, let's not do that. All right, so to clarify, first of all, I do not hate FJ Cruisers. I 100% love them. They are literally my favorite off-road vehicle. Like, you can't get any better than FJ Cruiser. I keep getting these people who are trolling me because they think that I hate FJ Cruisers. Yes, I did make a video that says FJ Cruisers suck, but in there I mentioned, hey, I don't hate them, but they have some weird quirks, which is very true. They do have some weird quirks. So again, in this video, I'm going over 4 reasons why FJ Cruisers are not the best daily drivers. And no, I'm not saying that you should not drive an FJ Cruiser for daily. Not what I'm saying at all. And the first reason, and probably the most obvious reason for why FJs are probably not the best daily driver, is gas mileage. And typical FJs, they get 17 miles to the gallon for city and 20 for the highway. I can tell you this thing gets worse, and that is because of the lift. And once you get bigger tires on, it's gonna get even worse. So you do have to watch out for that, because typically if you get an FJ Cruiser, you're probably gonna do stuff to it. So it's gonna kind of kill the gas mileage. And with today's gas prices, that's gonna sting a little bit. I'm gonna be real with you, it's gonna sting. The second reason is it is not a great family vehicle. Now, if you're young like me and you don't really have a family, well, that sounds terrible. If you're young like me and you don't have kids, this one really isn't an issue for you. But it's something I thought about is the FJ, it's kind of small in a way compared to typical SUVs. And the biggest thing for me is footroom or rear seat space. And with the rear seat being kind of small, that would be a pain for car seats. And there's not much leg room back there, which my friends have complained about when we're going on long trips. But also what I'll call the trunk space isn't huge. It's not small. You can definitely fit a lot of stuff back there. And for camping trips for me, or like me and another buddy, it's totally fine. It fits everything, but it can get a little tight, especially in the winter when you have bigger coats and more supplies. It definitely gets a little tight. The third door can also be annoying. Now for me, I don't mind it, but I could see how if you had kids and you're trying to get kids in and out, that would be a pain in the butt. So I still put that in the list because I'm sure if you're a parent, that is important to be able to get your kids in and out of the car easily. And this third one is bad handling. And this one is actually kind of pretty important to me for a daily driver because I like the way cars feel when driving. So compared to cars, it sucks. I mean, that's plain and simple. Most SUVs can't match up the cars. But when you compare this thing to SUVs, it still sucks. Yeah, it kind of handles like trash. This thing is a little bit worse than typical FJ, but ever since the new shocks went in and got the alignment checked again, it actually feels a little bit better and it handles decently nice, but I can tell that the handling on these things in general is just not the greatest. I've seen other FJs on the road and talked to other people with FJs, and they just say that they don't handle all that great for an SUV. So if you're like me and you like going fast, which for legal reasons, that's a joke. I don't go fast ever, but just don't take turns fast because, you know, might handle like trash. So on to the next one, which is blind spots. And before we even got the FJ, I did research because I started falling in love with these things. And that was a huge complaint with people, was blind spots. And I know people who've literally sold their FJ because of blind spots, which I can totally get. And the biggest thing is the A-pillar up front. It's a little bit thicker than typical SUV. And also where the doors come together, the windows are small in the rear, so there's kind of a lot of body there. So when you're looking to merge, it's kind of hard to see at times. And also the back windows are small at the hatch, so that doesn't help either. But after driving this thing for a few months, it actually isn't that bad for me anymore. I've kind of gotten used to the blind spots. And one big thing that does help is the little circle mirrors that you put on the mirror. It's more of a convex. Convex? Yeah, convex. And it really just shows the surroundings and it makes it a lot easier to merge on the highway. That's the biggest thing I use them for. And also just for backing up into spaces. So honestly, that isn't a huge turnoff for me, but it is something that if you like seeing the road very clearly, this may not be your daily driver. But for all you weirdos, FJs are really dope. The quirks are what makes them cool. Like I've always said in comments when people come after me, the quirks are kind of cool. So if you disagree with anything I said in this video, if you disagree with why you shouldn't daily drive it or why you should daily drive it, let me know in the comments below. Do what you got to do down there, and yeah, see you in the next one.